Mithrandiel here at TwitchCon 2016. I'm joined by Reed Scarfino, a Twitch partner. Now, Reed, you work with Extra Life. Tell us a little bit about your work with Extra Life and what inspired you to start doing your fundraising.
I believe this is my 5th or 6th year doing Extra Life. Honestly, I started off with it. I think I saw a tweet online or something like that is how I found out about it, and fell in love with the cause. I mean, when I was young, I guess the youngest I could possibly be, when I was being born, I almost didn't make it through delivery because there were some complications with me being delivered by my mom, and they had to make a decision if they wanted to rush me into surgery to cut me out, or just, my mom and dad almost wasn't able to afford it. And Children's Miracle Networks actually started a month before I was born, so it wasn't really readily available. But luckily my mom and dad were able to get the money to get me out of there. But the fact that they had to make a decision if they wanted to pursue with, having me or not, I think that sucks. I don't think you should have to worry about if you can afford to, create life, I guess, or something like that. So that's part of the reason why I do this. I think it's the main reason why I do this. Getting able to get in the hospital. I'm from Kansas City, so KU Medical Center is my hospital. Being able to get in there and meet the staff and see exactly what they do really helps a lot, because I feel like a lot of people are blind to exactly what goes into making this all happen, and make some of these kids be able. Giving them that little push to be able to kick the crap out of whatever's bothering them. That's really why I do it. And then being able to go. I've been to Extra Life United both times, meeting the champions from each state and a territory. Correct? Is that what Canada's called? Territories? It's Canada. Everyone's fine. Anyway, being able to meet them and see them. Yeah. They're all just so super friendly. But meeting all those kids that came in, and it's just an awesome experience. So I feel like it's free to join, free to do. You can raise money however you want, with video games, with board games, you can do interpretive dance. No one cares. Do whatever you want, and it's worth it to be able to meet these kids that are kicking the crap out of stuff that most of us would probably never even dream of or imagine having to deal with. That's a little bit about me, I guess. That's why I do it.
So you've been very successful at it as well. So you raised over $55,000. What do you think you do that makes it so impactful or effective? And when you're doing your fundraising, what do you think it is?
People like pain and torturing me, so I do incentives for stuff. Whereas let's see, the last time I raised a bunch of money. It was I did a retro game thing. So old video games that when you were a kid they were impossible to beat, like Battletoads and Contra and stuff like that. So basically, I started off with one game. I picked it and I said, okay, whoever's the top donator by the time I finish this game gets to pick the next retro game I do. I had like a big list of them, just everything you could think of that was terrible when you were a kid. And they went back and forth on it forever. Each game averaged a couple $100 or something like that. They wanted me to play a game. They put me through hell and back. I had to play some Double Dragon stuff, and I never beat Battletoads when I was a kid, but I beat it when I was 32, so it's fine. So that's basically what I did last year. But I've done stuff where I do those gross jelly beans. I'll eat one of those gross jelly beans after a donation, and I have a really generous community, and I raise money for several different charities, and they're always willing to jump on board, because no matter what charity I'm raising money for, someone in that crowd has a connection to it. I've got there's people in my community that donate to me because they have a child that didn't make it from something, or they had a child that did make it from something, or they know someone, or their cousin, or maybe they're going through something right now. So that's what's awesome about Twitch and charities getting involved with Twitch is there's something for everyone.
For streamers and gamers who might just be starting out with Extra Life, what advice would you give them when they're starting out their page, and to help to facilitate some of the effectiveness that you were talking about, besides maybe liking to be tortured and tormented by hard retro games?
So when I first started, I saw all these giant numbers coming in and stuff. I started kind of when it was getting off the ground. But recently I have a lot of friends that have jumped in Extra Life, like, dude, I want to get involved, what do I do? And man, I only raised $20 this year. But 20 is greater than zero, anything is awesome. don't get discouraged by seeing other people raising a ton of money and you only raised a few bucks or something like that. You know, you got to start off small. Use your local, you know, your social network, like your local friends, your family. You know, your work. Work will match donations most of the time. I used to work for Auto Trader, and they'd basically double whatever I raised my first couple years, and then they were like, oh crap, this has turned into a lot of money, we got to slow it down a little bit, and then they changed it. But there's people out there always wanting to throw money at charities for the right reasons, and you know, check with work, check with your family, reach out to people you know online, get involved with other people doing the same thing, collaborate. I ran a local LAN party in Kansas City for 4 years, and then the last year I did it, I think we got a couple $1,000s out of it or something like that. But I ended up going to doing it myself these past couple years, because 9 months of planning a LAN for the same amount of money I can raise online by myself in a weekend is, you know, that's a lot. It's a lot of work, and I don't have time for it now because the new kid.
Nobody got time for that now.
Yeah, but I mean, you could do local events like that, and sometimes even local businesses will make a. We have someone in Kansas City that Casey's General Store, you know, like gas stations, pizza. They let him put a little bucket at the register, and people can throw their change in there and stuff, or you know, whatever. It doesn't hurt to ask, and the worst someone's gonna say is no. So use everything you possibly can.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, Reed, thank you so much for taking the time to chat with us today. You're doing great work for Extra Life, and I wish you all the best.
All right, thank you. Appreciate it.